either for c7, c5, and or for e6, e5. Much easier to execute c5, so rook d1. What's the idea behind this move? Very, very clear. If you're going to play the rook on d1, you're not going to be able to play knight d7 and c5 really easy. And after rook d1, again, Ray, well, as we know, Ray does like to get into time trouble. He falls behind on the clock. But against Wesley, that's a very dangerous thing to do.
Another player that seems to have the upper hand is Dominguez, but Maurice, you want to jump right in.
Just to finish up the thought here, this position...
Okay, queen a4,
I just want to take on d5. So for example, if you capture my piece, I'm going to recapture with the pawn.
Wow.
And I'm going to give a check on e8, and then bishop a6. Am I in time to do that?
Yes, why not? I mean, wow. Okay, this is some really, really funny stuff. I am not sure. Rook e8, I'm not sure. I'm dreaming
Bishop
to get
f6.
bishop f6.
But that's the most...
Whoa,
yeah,
is rook takes...
e2.
Is rook takes e2 check a move here?
Oh gosh, yes. My king might be walking the
No, but I don't think you have.
Oh, I have to take...
Wait.
Is the bishop on b7. Your very best piece is your bishop on b7. I want to kill this bishop. The only way I can kill the bishop is putting the pawn on e4 and then f3. So I'm going to take now. I'm not 100% sure whether or not I want to play queen to h4 or queen g4. But what I really wanted to do was get a structure more or less where this bishop is hemmed in.
The problem is, I give a check on a5.
That's a disturbing check.
That is a disturbing check. You're not in time to castle.
Okay.
Nevertheless, you can try a different approach, and that is to go f3, king to f2.
Right.
Precisely.
Exactly.
Maybe you don't even have to start with e4, because that allows you the option of potentially keeping the pawn on e3, covering the king.
Right. And if I know Wesley well, he might even want to retain the bishop. Looks a little strange, but f3, in case you do recapture e4.
f3 was played before.
Play bishop e2. I know your rules of trading. Fantastic.
That is being given with rook c8, with a rook coming to c2 very fast. You get the two bishops?
I did it wrong.
Queen takes on d8.
Oh, sorry.
I was wrong in my prediction. He took immediately. What? He took instantly on d4.
Yeah.
And now queen takes d4, and we're going to see this line with knight takes e5. That's forced.
And here I've got again, the upper hand and a rook and pawn ending.
Okay, I have a funky idea here.
I've got a
c3.
Ooh. Okay,
It's not going to lead anywhere. Rook to c3, we capture, and after bishop f1, e5.
Yeah, I thought that this was your intent, but he does have g5.
Knight d5. Yeah, no.
I was at queen c5 check after I move my bishop back.
Right.
And we get into a bishop and
Some weird
ending. So that's
sorry, that was a terrible.
I will be a pawn up in that. Because I go bishop to f2 and I capture one of those pawns.
You capture which pawn?
Well, bishop f2 if you have the queen on c5 and we
whoa, you guys jumped ahead. Help our audience here. Where were you guys going?
Well, if you do this, then I can go queen to c8.
And then queen f8?
And that is the question. I think I have a slight advantage in this position. Queen takes f8, and then I take on f1. You don't believe me?
No, we don't.
I feel you don't believe me.
Much worse. There's a 93 check, knight c4 coming.
Oh, that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem.
Just a second. The president of the Pawn Grubbers Association is in his element. Let me show you the magic. Here it comes.
This is what knights do.
This is what we got. This is how we go. We get the fork.
Well, first of all, the G pawn was there, but bishop g3 was a trap.
Right.
So, no, this one, however, is a clear fork, and you win material.
But, okay.
So, black should be fine in all those positions there. By the way, my trick, when you guys took over the position after castles, my trick was rook d3, rook d3.
Yes.
Bishop a6.
Yes. Bishop a6.
Rook d1, rook fd1.
Rook fd1.
Give me a rook. and give me, and this is the, you know, a little baby trick, rook check, king f2, knight g4 check.
And they used to say, the petite
Baby
combination.
tricks.
Baby trick. I'm not worse.
The
But
petite
obviously white could have
combination.
played the other rook back and played
Exactly.
the position.
Yeah.
And I just can't
Just
believe.
1 second. Let's go back to that variation because I'm still not convinced. You guys were trying to trick me in that.
Yeah.
You
Alright,
tricked
so
yourself.
rook
You
c3.
forced us to play your moves.
Hold on,
What are you
rook
talking
c3.
about?
No. You left a bit too early. All
Okay,
right, let's
sure.
go to c3.
Right now. We can always throw in bishop f6 when you like to. by the way.
Anytime.
I don't want to. No.
Okay.
I'm actually
Anytime.
looking for a bishop versus knight
Okay,
endgame
let's do
where
it.
I can potentially bring my king to the center faster than you can.
Gotcha. So rook c3, queen
Take.
c3.
Take
Take
on
on
f1,
f1.
e5. Knight to d5. Beautiful.
Take on f1, e5, knight to d5. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Pause,
Now I
right.
take on e7 first.
You take on e7.
You
I
take on
take
c3.
c3.
And now I take on f1.
Now, what do we think of them apples? This is a different animal, right? Okay.
But you still go knight to d5. And I
Whoa,
don't have
whoa,
bishop
whoa,
d6.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Remember Nydorf telling me this, admonishing me. Jasser, you play your moves, I play my moves. Jasser, I'm looking at knight d1.
Knight d1, yeah.
Knight d1, I'm trying to provoke somehow.
I can refute this. Sorry.
Please.
Back up.
No, but knight d5 here it's okay for us.
Oh, no, we're not looking for okay. We're going to try to punish you.
Oh,
Let's go backwards.
Okay, tell me when to stop.
Right here.
Okay.
What if we play queen d7? I'm going to make you accept the draw.
Make me accept the draw.
I'm going to make you accept the draw. I'm going to make you trade down. Takes. You got to do something.
Taking on f6 or taking on f1? This
You
is
can-
your
you can
position. You
try
got
to-
yourself in
you
there.
can try to-
wait.
You try to prove your
Wait.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm waiting.
Wait.
Yes.
So you mean you're looking for a perpetual?
No, I'm guaranteed everything. I don't care. My knight's going to be on d5. I'll be in box forever. Okay, so
I don't know.
you are begging me to take the
Looking
draw
for a
now.
perpetual. Okay.
Well, you're begging me for the draw right now because I got no worries as far as
So I
I'm
take on f6.
With
Okay.
the pawn or
With the
bishop?
pawn.
Yes.
With the pawn.
Okay. And he's going to probably play
Park the
queen
queen,
d1.
please.
So what happens if I just pick up the pawn right now on g7?
You are a brave man.
I got to give him credit.
You are a very brave man.
Now, which position are you winning after bishop back?
I'm not saying
Hold
I'm
on.
winning.
Where am I going? Is it?
You were saying that I'm
a
looking for a
A6.
draw. I think you're on the wrong side of
A6.
the
I'm
draw.
not in any row.
A6 or
A6?
Why so far?
I don't know. Maybe C4, but I don't want to hang anything.
Okay, you tell me. A6.
I was just moving it out the way to see
I
if he's
understand.
willing to put his king
He has no
on
choice.
G3
I can go bishop e1.
and allow queen E2
I mean, I'm a pawn up. You're
and
the
allow
one.
queen E2.
Queen
Seriously,
to
Yeah,
h3.
H3. He's
Wow.
got a point.
I'm
He's
a
got a
pawn
point.
up.
he's a bold man, but
I mean, he's got a gold membership card to the Pawn Grubbers Association.
how do
The
you
pawn
win
is
it?
still on. I don't know how we win it, but he's a pawn up.
I think I'm better at this point.
Really?
Of course. I mean, I'm a pawn up.
Oh, yeah.
It's not very difficult to understand. I'm just a pawn up. That's it.
The trading.
That's it.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud. The trading is really working.
By the way, how is that?
Wait a minute. What did I do?
I don't know
Go
what
back
we
2
did.
moves. Go back and back.
What?
Bishop on H4. My bishop was on
What?
F1. What if I play queen E2 here?
He's going to play.
He's going to play bishop F2.
Queen E2 with the threat of mate
Wow.
is going to get blocked. By the way, the pawn is still alive. I mean, it's going to take
That
you some-
pawn is not going to be taken easily. So, for example, if you try to go something like bishop a6, bishop e1, and then queen to d3 to bail out potentially,
Yes.
I'm not sure how that endgame is.
I
It's
mean,
an opposite
I
side
wouldn't want
opposite color
to-
bishops, but
right.
with the bishop on c3 and that pawn on g7,
That pawn is on the 7th rank and it's protected.
It's
What's the
protected,
problem?
yeah.
I'm going to be playing a
All
piece
right.
to the good. Interesting position. Let's not get too caught up in
yes, sir. I've been trying to take you to this game
Please.
for a very
All right,
long
let's go.
time. The
Baruch.
one between Dominguez and
Chip is not happy because of these pawns on G2, F3, E4, all on the light square. But again, you know, I'm influenced by Akiba Rubinstein, and these, I want to say, structures do have something that white could potentially bite on. Can Wesley play the move rook c? Oops, I was about to say, could he play the move rook c1? My answer was, I think rook takes d3 check was the thing that kind of stopped me from wanting to do that. But I thought rook c1, we've already got it on the board, so we might as well give it a look-see. He's played the move bishop b1. Okay, so he's basically, in these positions, funnily enough, it's control of the c file is better than control of the d file. It took me a long
Wesley just wants to make a draw right now. I actually just think that he's in exchange mode. He wants to exchange all the pieces, find the repetition, and go home.
Really?
I think so.
You don't see any ambition? You think this move is...
I don't feel his ambition right now.
Okay, how intriguing. Okay, what I wanted to say is, for me, in my, let's say, climb to chess mastery, we have two open files, the C file and the D file. The strangest part, and it took me a while to understand this, is actually the C file is actually more important than the D file in such positions. Why? Because look at the kings, and this is exactly the situation. King on E3, king on E7. The king on E7 controls the business squares on the D file. Exactly, as does the white king. So the C file actually tends to be more vital, more important open file. And so I was thinking I would love to challenge the C file. Like, for example, in this position, I would love to kind of get this position where, let's say, I'm just going to put a bad move on the board, where the C file is more pertinent than the D file. Wesley did play the move bishop b1.
And I think it's very important to make the case of, after rook to c1, Black's idea was to take on d3 and resolve all his problems through tactics.
Okay.
Rook takes d3, king takes d3, bishop to a6, king has to go back, I take on f1, you take on f1, and you're never going to win that position.
That's what you would call a dead drawn king and pawn endgame. But if you were right in your belief that Wesley was playing for a draw, nothing but a draw, he would...
Then maybe he should have went for this.
He would have gone rook to c1 and said, please make a draw, I'm willing to make a draw. Because he didn't do that, I think the move bishop b1 to me says, I'm still harboring some ambitions. But maybe it's late.
But I have to say, I haven't seen Wesley win this type of endgame in a very long time. The most recent I remember was a game between him and Darius Zvierch from the Singular Cup, in which he won in a Berlin endgame with great preparation with the black pieces. Darius potentially overextended, tried a bit too much, and unfortunately was fatal for him.
Right.
Outside of that, I don't remember any wins of Wesley so in this type of endgame. Generally, when he exchanges so many pieces, he straight goes into a completely equal position. I remember the game between him and Lanier in this tournament. They exchanged everything. They went into a bishop of opposite colors or same color bishops, and then they just made a quick draw.
What I'm trying to understand is, how do you let's say we just make a random move like trades on D1.
Let's trade. Yeah.
Just a quick trade. And after this trade, Black plays a waiting move, rook c7. I'm just making quick moves.
Right.
What is the winning plan here for White?
It's all about this pawn. So I'm praying that you play rook d7. This would give me the immediate target.
Too easy to get at.
Is I'm going after this pawn.
Right.
And that's what. In some ways, that's the only thing that White has. That's what his...
Yeah, so I'm not going to trade rooks.
Exactly. So I'll play g3.
Just keep making rook moves. What are you going to do next?
Like, say, rook to c5. Back to c5. I don't know. Help me out here, Christian.
It's tough. It's tough. The thing is, you should have a way to get that rook on the h file and put some pressure on the h6 pawn. Unfortunately, I don't see any way in which you can do that.
Play the rook back again and just...
Everything is blocked.
With the pawn on f3, I can't really ever make a rover.
And if you play f4, then the e4 pawn becomes a weakness, and the bishop on b7 finally has something to do in the position.
Yep.
I simply don't see it. It reminds me a little bit of the game between Magnus Carlsen and Kari Yakin, their first game in the World Championship match in 2016. That Frampowski, bishop takes f6, g takes f6, and then Magnus had the knight, if I remember correctly, rook and knight versus rook and bishop, and he tried a little bit. He didn't succeed, of course, to win that game. Nevertheless, he had an attempt. In this one, I don't even see an attempt. I don't see how you can transfer the rook on that important h file and even create any sort of pressure in the position.
Again, keeper Rubinstein, I would go bishop. Oops, excuse me. You said rook c7. Let me take another approach. How come I always see bishop d3, rook c5? Maurice would say, "Go ahead, show me what your winning plan might be." Again, I'm hoping to challenge and trade rooks.
We'll trade.
Okay? This is maybe my best position since the opening. Again, I mean, I got my sneakers on.
That's fine. I go e5.
Whoa!
I give you everything you want.
Well, you're a nice person.
That's fine. Make a move. Bishop c6.
Bishop, sorry?
Bishop c6.
Wow, you're a very nice person.
a5. Not yet. That's where I'm going, yes.
Okay.
King f8.
King f8.
So you get absolutely everything you want. And I still don't see the way to break this.
Wow. Okay, well, let me establish, I should say, my bishop on the d5 square.
By the way, he did not trade on the d line. He played rook over to c8.
Rook c2, d to c8. Okay.
Okay, wouldn't have guessed that one.
Keeping two rooks on the c file, nevertheless, the entry square on that c file is sharply defended